And there we have it, another trading day in the bag, and this time it's a green one because it was kind of a choppy week for me, let's just say. Starting off with that big old tops trade and TOPS, and then yesterday could have been green, but I was just breaking all my rules, and I hope you appreciated that video from yesterday because I already watched it twice, and I feel like it really shows, I would say, the importance of discipline with the small cap gap and go strategy. If you're investing, you can average down, you have a long time horizon, it's way different. But when you're trading these small caps, you got to realize that a lot of these companies are only going to be gapping for one day and maybe running or maybe not. And then who knows what's going to happen tomorrow. Maybe they're going to have 2 or 3 green days. And maybe, you know, every 1 out of 100 is going to be that big one that goes up 10,000% or something like that. It happens. But most of the time, they just pull back, and you got to cut your losses quickly, and you don't want to average down into losers. And you have rules for a certain reason. So if you have not seen that video from yesterday, the recap video, I definitely recommend checking it out because every time I break my rules, it doesn't take very long till I get reminded why I have them in the first place. Today should be a shorter recap. When I ran the scanner this morning, I was a little confused what we were going to trade. There was no clear lead gapper, but there was one that actually ended up really shining. And there was something that happened because I missed kind of the first 15 minutes of trading because I was too focused on NEPT, which never really ended up performing. But I thought, okay, there's a good chance I'm only going to do 1 trade today, maybe 2, just because I missed the first 15 minutes. So if I see a good position, let me allocate a proper trade allocation to it. So, you know, usually I do 3 trades a day, so let me do 2 trades a day, and, you know, just make sure I at least get 1 good trade in if it's available. Because if I don't do that, and let's say I trade only with, you know, a small position size or a smaller position size, even though it's a good trade, I'm going to have a little bit of FOMO, and that kind of happened today a little bit, and I'm going to try to squeeze out maybe 1 or 2 more trades. And that's when you start looking at the screen too long, that's when you get a little bit emotional, that's when you're making irrational trading. So for me, understanding that today or that trade that I took was actually a good setup, and just being extremely rational about it allowed me to increase my position size, feel good about it, take profits quicker, even though the actual dollar P&L was more, and it was just good flow. So I want you to think about that during this recap video, and I definitely dive into that one topic a little bit more on this recap trade allocation. So let's get into the charts. If you have any questions and comments, leave them below. I answer all YouTube comments, and like always, if you enjoy this content, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're totally new here and you want to learn more about trading, especially small caps, I would love to see you on a upcoming live stream and in the chat room, so don't forget to subscribe. All right, guys, let's go to the charts now and check out today's lead gappers. And for everyone on the stream who was wondering if I took the APOP trade, you know what? I wanted to buy it in 30s, which was this area. I didn't do it. I wanted to buy this dip, but I was waiting for a dip under 3, so I did do that one. And I just kind of missed this potential bounce right here, but I don't even really know if it's over. So on this recap, if we dip below $3, there's a really good chance that I will go ahead and maybe buy it. So let's keep an eye out for that. It could happen. I don't know. I'm still watching it. It looks like I don't know. It looks, it's tough to say. I think this could just be a little bounce here, and then we'll continue to maybe move higher. But I think this $3 area, there's a good chance it might crack, and then if the selling volume slows down around 2.9 area to the 90s, then I would like to probably get long on this one. But for now, I'm not sure what's going to happen. But let's quickly review it, because APOP was not my 2 top lead gapper, even though it probably should have been. It was gapping up about 80% in the market, and the float was 3.5. So that's a kind of a nice float. So let me quickly go here. We were closed around here, and then we're moving up. Oops, that was all over the place in this area. So yeah, 75%, give or take, maybe 80%, 3.5 million market cap, really, really nice. 10 million, sorry about that, 3.5 million float is what I have noted down, 80%. Wow, I'm all over the place. Sorry about that. I'm like watching the price right now. It's totally throwing me off. So 3.5 million float, although it says here 3.2 million shares outstanding. So I think the float might even be lower. Either way, 10 million market cap, and then $75 million dollar volume, which really isn't too bad on a day like today when there was kind of mixed lead gappers. you know, after the market opened, I really said this is the one I should have been paying attention to because, well, one, we had a nice little pull here. This was 63%, and then we only pulled back about 18%, and then we were trading above VWAP. We had a nice cup and handle as well. Here's the cup, here's the handle, and then we broke out and we had a pull back to this area. Very bullish patterns, and then instantly with the market open, we rip up 31%, get halted, pull back a little bit, rip up another 23%, and then 39%. So this whole move from the market open till the end was 73%. And I think we could have honestly got a little bit more aggressive with this one. I had a nice little dip buy here. I sold fairly quickly because I wanted to lock in some profits. I had a bigger allocation. I used 400 shares as well. At this point, I was like, you know what? I kind of feel like I'm not going to make 3 trades today. I kind of missed, you know, the first 15 minutes already. There's a good chance I'm only going to make 1 or 2 trades today. So I'm going to, if I see a good opportunity, I'm going to up my allocation to only 2 trades, but maybe not a full 2 trade allocation because that's, I don't know, I had 2 red days in a row, so maybe I should be a little bit more cautious today, use a little bit less share size overall, and that's what I did. So this trade was about $1,300 compared to typically about $1,000 or $1,500, right? And I was trying to get closer to the $1,500 phase. And yeah, it helped me reach my $100 much quicker. I think we were about 8% up on this trade and I closed it out. I wasn't looking for a big breakout here. I was thinking, you know, we might form a longer A, B, C, and then break out on the D pattern here. That's what my thought was. So I was like, I only want to be trading this B to C bounce, and that's kind of what I did. I was thinking here though, if we pull back a little bit further, I would love to get an entry in a pullback around 3.3 again, or maybe even lower threes, but it never happened. We had a fake out here, and this is when I was like, uh-oh, this is looking bad. But then this price held twice. You can almost argue 3 times, and then we ripped up. And this is when I was saying the whole time in this live stream, like I should have traded this, I should trade this, but I'm not going to trade it. And then we even had a nice little 5-minute breakout and a 1-minute pullback over here. I mean, this was pretty perfect. I probably should have even done this trade. Like, okay, I told myself, you know, I'm going to let this breakout go by me, but this is a whole new trading opportunity here, and I kind of regret that I didn't trade this one, because trading this on the backside of the move to the upside, the big, you know, morning move, it was tough. All these bounces were really kind of tough to predict. I always thought I was going to pull back a little bit more, and never did, and then a lot of dead cat bounces, and I don't know, 5% here, and then this is probably the nicest bounce, about 8%, and is the move over? I don't even know. It's so tough to say. So it's nice to get the trades done with. Like, if I did this trade, I would not be even thinking about trading over here anymore, because I already would have done my max amount of trading I could do with my account for the day. So, so you also have to factor that in a little bit. It's like, if I don't do this trade now, which is probably a better opportunity than any other future opportunity, I'm going to probably have some FOMO to trade in later on in the day. So if you start calculating that as well, it might be something to throw into the overall equation. I don't know, maybe not, but something to think about there. Kind of interesting thought. Anyway, APOP had a new patient allowance. It's a Chinese company, and they were able to get more patients on their coronavirus testing. And it looks like APOP might really break up here. I like the kind of consolidation we had in this area, and I think there's a good chance we're going to retest VWAP, or at least retest this former support area. You can see 1, 2, 3 tests here before we broke to the downside. This is such a clean chart, and I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, we retested this area, made sure that was resistance, and then before we continued to the downside. But I don't know, I'm done for trading right now. Maybe if we get a break of 3, I would consider trading this again, but for now I'm done, and I'm keeping a close eye on the news, because I'm super scared that there's going to be some sort of like secondary offering, or direct public offering or something like that. The lead gappers we actually were looking at was NEPT at 80% gapping up, 66 million float, which is a huge float. But really, you know, after the market opened, this thing really became uninteresting. And I was really paying attention to this one, like for the first 6 minutes. And it was kind of a waste of time, because I should have been focused on APOP, but NEPT, you know, the only thing I didn't like about this one was that float. The float was really high, but they had the FDA, a fast track hard hand sanitizer that was plant-based. So it sounded really, really good. You know, great catalyst, but that float was just really high, and I don't know, it's been selling off all day. I guess a lot of gap and go traders, a lot of momentum traders, a lot of small cap traders just didn't really care about it. And you really saw that. Again, or the next one, IO, our next lead gapper. This one was super weird. It gapped up huge and was really choppy pre-market, which kind of at first didn't make me too excited, but we didn't have a lot of good options, I would say, this market, pre-market, except APOPI. That was really nice one. Yeah, so IO, 170% gapping up, 10 million float, really nice, and they had good revenue. So that's a great catalyst. But then I don't know what this was. This was an instant drop here. Maybe the order book had a big spread or something. I don't know what happened. It was halted, and then it got halted multiple times on the way up, 114% bounce. This bounce would have been really hard to trade just because it opened up and got halted again. Opened up and got halted again. So I don't know. And then sold off again. This is just so messy. I'm just happy I didn't even look at it. So weird day. Yeah, weird day. A lot of the lead gappers from yesterday are just getting crushed. So we have IFRX, actually, IFRX kind of bouncing a little bit off the lows, but ultimately not really looking too promising. Yeah, so just, it's been really tough overnights lately, mainly because these share offerings. We had CEMI, which had the really nice morning pattern, if you guys remember, right here. And then, you know, this one kind of held its highs, but again, starting to sell off a little bit, not looking too great. Yeah, this was the nice morning, but after that, that was kind of the end of this one. We had SGBX, which was GBX. This was the big winner a few days ago. Yeah, the big move here and kind of consolidating in the highs, but I'd be so careful with this one. This is really losing momentum, and I don't know, not looking too good. VVUS, this is the one that just got destroyed beyond reckoning. This was just the insane pre-market pullback, and then it just keeps selling off. So I don't know. I don't really have high hopes for any of these, and that's what it is. That's why I don't hold overnight. That's why I only trade the market open, and usually I'm done by 11. It's actually an amazing strategy because it really frees up your time. But at the same time, you have to, you know, sometimes you're like, you know, we had 10 days now where a lot of these small caps rip for 3 days straight. And you know what? This time I'm going to hold it overnight. And that's the freaking time where just boom goes down 60%. So you have to be very disciplined with this strategy. You have to cut your losses quickly. A lot of these companies aren't going to be around maybe much longer, or if they are, they're going to have a reverse split. They're going to dump into the market. They're not pretty companies for investing. So just keep that in mind. And I think once that clicks in your mind, and it took a while for it to click in my mind. When I first started day trading small caps, I was like, you know, it's at 30 cents. Maybe it's going to go to $5 one day. Well, maybe it's going to go have a reverse split, go to $5, and you're going to actually have the same P&L, and then it's going to be diluted. That's probably what's going to happen. And that's usually what happens. Like 99% of the time, that's what happens. So I don't know. That's something that took me a while to learn, and just be careful. It's just like a warning. Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway though today, which I was really happy and I want to do again in the future, is, you know, increase my allocation when I feel like the time is right, when I feel like the opportunity is there, and especially if I know I'm only going to be making maybe 2 or 1 trades, because sometimes having those additional trades makes me do something silly, or makes me want to, you know, start dip buying this like crazy, and I don't know, it's a slippery slope. So I would like to maybe keep allocating a little bit higher if it's the right decision, you know. If I want to do a pre-market trade like this and I have a nice cup and handle pattern, then I'm not going to allocate heavy because I don't like trading pre-market. So I got to understand, is this the right opportunity to allocate heavy? And if it is, then maybe I should. And I think that's something I want to implement a bit more in the future. All right, guys, that's everything for this video. I'll see you then first thing tomorrow to trade the market open on Friday. Woohoo! Don't forget to leave a like, guys, if you enjoy this content. Subscribe if you're new. I'd love to see you again in an upcoming recap in the chat room especially. Till then, guys, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.